Hey, what's up, everybody? Jeremy Donson here with thedrumprofessor.com. Today we're going to be doing Reckless Love by Cory Asbury. I want to do this song because I've had so many of my weekly students request this song to learn it because they want to be drummers for their church and their church does this song, or they just love the song and want to be able to play it in praise and worship. But I think it's important to do this for everybody because a lot of churches actually do this song in their service, and I've had several drummers who, actually a lot of drummers who were students, and they went from not knowing really anything on the drums, being a beginner, to maybe early intermediate, and went from knowing little to being the drummer every Sunday in their church. So because of that, I thought it'd be nice to do this song and explain how there's so many possibilities of things you can do and things you can add. The drummer for this song keeps it pretty basic, which is fine, but there's so many things you can add that just sound so refreshing when you do it, and it's a lot of fun to play when you do it as well. So I'm going to get started at 49 seconds, just showing you the basic beat that he does in the song, and he literally, when he goes into the chorus of the song, he just crashes, right? So we're going to go over that and another option to do in the beat, and then go over some cool fills that you can add in there. So check it out. Here we go. Okay, so that's your basic core beat right there. This is a 6/8 time song. In other words, there's 6 beats per measure and 8th notes get the pattern. So it's more like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 type feel, instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and like most songs are. Okay, so 6/8 time, what you're gonna do is, if you kick the bass drum, everything's with hi-hat. So you're gonna kick the bass and hi-hat together, and then do 2 hi-hats. And then you're going to do the snare and hi-hat together, and then do 2 hi-hats again. So you put that together and you have bass, 2, 3, snare, 5, 6, bass, 2, 3, snare, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get that comfortable, get it up to speed. And I actually recommend you get this faster than the tempo, so that you're not like playing at the fastest you can comfortably with the beat, with the music. So if you can learn it faster than the song, and then just slow it down to tempo, that'll be very helpful because you're not like at your peak the whole time trying to play it. You can play it much faster than that comfortably. So we have the basic beat now. Now what I did is most of the song, right? I mean, there's some other cool patterns in this song, but that is definitely a large percentage of the song, what I just did. Now there's another variant that we can do from this beat. So instead of doing this, we could do, and you're doing a faster hi-hat pattern there. You would only want to do this during the chorus if you were to do it, but that is an option if you wanted to. So that's, but I would recommend just keep it at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, after you get comfortable with that, now we can add some stuff in here. So, for example, when he switches to the chorus, check it out. You've been so kind to me. me do that again. Check it out. So I did it, both of them a little differently. Either way you like it is fine. But here's what I did. So first of all, the bass drum has some independence here. So instead of going bass 2, 3, 5, 6, I'm going. So it's bass and bass and bass, or bass, high bass, high bass. Now, if you're going to be very tempted, unless you have really good independent skills, in other words, kicking the bass drum by itself independently, you're going to be very, very tempted to do this and hitting the hi-hat with that bass drum. So to help not do that, if you move the hi-hat hand away from the bass drum, then you're less tempted. Because think about it. If your hand is going away from the hi-hat when your bass hits, it's a lot more work to stop the motion of going away and then hit it with it. But if your hand's up here just hanging out and then you kick, all you got to do is react and you're going to hit it. So, hopefully that makes sense. And just moving away. And once you do that, and you put it into practice, you're going to see it's going to be a huge help for you. You're moving away when the bass hits independently, and you're not going to hit it as much. So putting it together, bass and bass and bass snare, bass and bass and bass snare. Okay, so now putting it together again, bass and bass and bass snare, bass and bass and bass snare. Now let's back up a second. That gets us to where we want to start the fill. So let's take it from right there. So bass and bass and bass snare. So now we can just do a fairly basic fill where we do snare, hi, mid, floor, crash instead of just crashing into the chorus like I did with the music in the beginning. So bass and bass and bass snare, snare, hi, mid, floor, crash. So when you go from that snare, the snare is with, like normal, left hand snare, right hand hi-hat if you're right-handed. I'm personally left-handed, so if you're a lefty, it'd be like that. But anyway, so once you finish that, you're going to go right, left, and then crash with the bass drum. Now, it fits really well with the music. There's literally dozens of fills that you could do there if you wanted. Another variant of this fill would be this. Right? So you're going bass and bass and bass crash with the snare, and then high, mid, floor, crash with the bass on the end. So it gives you an idea of a couple of examples. And I mean, you can do a really active fill, much faster fill too if you wanted. But there's a saying in music that says less is more. There's also another way to look at it where you want to try to look at it as not the glass as half full necessarily, but you fill the glass overflowingly full in practicing anyway, with fills and beats and different things you can do, and then you trim it down to where it's not so busy or so active. You don't want to be that drummer in church where it's praise and worship and everybody's getting into it, and suddenly the drummer just distracts everybody because they did some big fill or beat with the part of the song where it really just didn't fit, right? Or they do it a lot, way too much. So there is a place and a time for that. In moderation, but you don't want to do like a drum solo the whole time. Right? That's basically what I'm saying. So check it out. Let me put this in with the music now, see how it fits, and check it out. Here we go. Fit perfect, right? right, so just a ton of possibilities with what you can do. The important thing is first, get the core beat down and crash when changes come. And basic music theory is extremely important with any style of music, especially when you're trying to structure a song in church, right? A great example is, think of it like this. So whenever you go from a verse to a chorus, there's a change there, right? It changes from the verse to the chorus. So think of a crash as the change. That's when the change happens. Not all crashes, of course, but a lot of them you crash on one, indicating that's the change. Think of a fill as indicating that a change is coming, and then the crash is the change. Think of it like that. So for example, with what we did, the fill was letting you know there's a change coming. The chorus is about to happen. When I crash, that is the beginning of the chorus. So that's a good idea and a good way to look at that. So I hope this is really helpful for you. And whether you're wanting to learn this to hopefully play for your church someday, or you just love Christian music and you just want to play to it, really doesn't matter. All that matters is that you get it down, right? So what I would recommend with this song is learn the basic beat, just stay on time, right? And then add the crash in with the chorus like I did in the very beginning when I played the song with the music. And then once you can do that and you're comfortable with it, then add like one or two little things. Just start small and then work your way up. It doesn't have to be a drum solo. You don't want it to be that. It would take away from the song. But you can also make it more exciting and more active and fun, right? So there's a fine line there. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this. And once you get it up to that point, or if you need help with like what fills can I do or what crashes can I do, that's why I'm here. I have several weekly students that are the drummers for their church or just enjoy songs like this, and I show them how to improv. So if you want to do that, just go to my website, thedrumprofessor.com, and contact me, and we can set up a time to meet one-on-one live interaction, kind of like Skype, but a way cooler program, and I can show you whatever you would like to go over. So I hope you guys like this a lot. Be sure to have fun, rock on, and stay awesome. Later, guys.